Hello, welcome back to the Magic
Yay.
Reviews. Yeah,
Hey!
so
I'm excited.
and
I am.
we both watched the first two episodes of Ahsoka. Ethan, want to give your thoughts on it first? Yeah.
So I thought this was pretty decent. Like, I feel like it's Star Wars 7, where it's an absolutely great setup. The show I thought was pretty good. I thought it was a very good setup compared to like what Andor. Remember the Andor thing that we both did?
Yeah.
Um, I thought it was a way better setup compared to like other things that Disney has put out recently. I thought with this, it was pretty good because you got a reintroduction of all the Star Wars Rebels characters. And it was like you got to see like their live action version of them. I thought that was really sick. I also thought that you got to see the reason why Sabine never really got the chance to be a Jedi or train as a Jedi. And then you also got to see the fact that Sabine did stuff to Ezra's lightsaber that he gave to her. And I think it's cool seeing the fact that there's some story development with Sabine, there's story development with Hera, there's story development with Ahsoka, especially with those three. And then on the other side with the bad guys, you get to see a bunch of that character development too. It's three new characters that we've never really seen before. Maybe that witch girl, I don't know. I just
Yeah,
know
we
that there's
saw
these
her in
two new characters.
the
I
two new
was
Sith,
thinking we did, but
yes.
I don't remember.
We saw her in the Mando episode where he met
Okay, so
Ahsoka for the
she's
first time.
okay, so she's been
Season
in
two,
Mando.
yeah.
Okay. I
Yes.
was thinking like Star Wars Rebels was she in? Or wait, which show had the witches or whatever?
Clone
Was
Wars.
that Clone Wars? Okay. I thought she could have possibly been in Clone Wars, but I didn't know.
No,
So I just didn't want to
she was
assume.
not.
But yeah, it's good seeing like her, I guess. She's just I guess she's kind of just there. It's weird seeing I don't know if that's an inquisitor or not, but it's kind of cool seeing that there's an inquisitor style person, and then you've got this random guy that we don't know, which is cool, I guess. I don't know what he's doing there and why he's even after what he's after, I guess. Well, they explain that because he wants power, which makes sense, and he's trying to help. I don't know because it's like I think what's going to happen eventually down the road is that the apprentice will kill him. It just makes sense to me. I think that's what's going to happen eventually is that she will kill him and
Mhm.
then and then she will get power, which I think makes I don't know, that just makes a whole lot of sense to me if that would happen. Also, what I don't get, the orange lightsaber with the girl, I don't get that at all. But I guess it's there because Ahsoka Tano has white lightsabers. I don't know. Weird to me, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna question it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, what
oh
would you
yeah,
rank
I
it?
forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot to rank it. 7 out of 10. Because I think there is a lot of great potential with like I want to say the script. Because I hope that because I think they're doing a good job with this. I think they're doing a fantastic job with how it's going. They just need to figure out what to do with how to introduce Zeb because it's we know that he's alive and he is in the rebellion somehow. We just got to see if they're going to how they're going to reintroduce Zeb into this and how they're going to bring back both Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra because
I
it
don't
looks
think.
like they're bringing both of them back
Yeah.
possibly. And I think
Mhm.
it would be great to bring both of them back because honestly Star Wars Rebels was probably it's honestly one of the best like cartoon series compare like it like not as good as Clone Wars for sure, but I think it's like it's pretty good, I would say. Star Wars Rebels. Like not as good as Clone Wars cuz nothing can touch Clone Wars and how good of a show that was. But if you look at like the Star Wars Rebels like franchise and all that,
Mhm.
pretty good. It was pretty good. I thought it was solid. I thought it was a great show.
I think the story is good. I think I think like the show in of itself is bland because you have a whole bunch of just filler show.
Yeah,
Essentially, like
but you have that because it's setting up for the next stuff.
uh,
So you're gonna have that bland possibly for the next stuff.
the problem was like
Like because you can clearly see that there are two fists ready to fight between Ahsoka Tano and Sabine. It's clear that they're not on the same page, and once they do, they'll be able to track Ezra and be able to find him. Because that's kind of what all three, like Sabine, Hera, Ahsoka Tano, their goal right now is to find Ezra, I think.
mhm.
I think that's their goal at the moment.
Well, not quite. Ahsoka's goal is to find Thrawn. Sabine's goal is to find Ezra.
Oh, okay.
That's really their motives. Like Sabine could care less about Thrawn, and Ahsoka cares enough about Ezra to be like, "Hey, we need to go find this kid," but that's not the main reason she's doing this.
Hmm.
Sabine doesn't give a frick about Thrawn,
No.
so
Well, she should, I think.
she might by the end of this, but at the point now, she doesn't care.
I think she should because if it wasn't for Ezra, Thrawn would be in power.
Not quite.
Well, that's according to the show.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Ezra,
Because if Grand Admiral Thrawn comes back, he has the throne and he gets the power.
uh, I guess, yeah.
That's what I've seen in that stuff, and I
Well,
just watched it.
the thing is that you would see is that much like in the aspect that was shown in Mandalorian season 3, there are many different sections of Imperials, and each one of them follows their own section and like own sect, I guess, of like what they see as their Imperial stuff. So it's Moff Gideon was trying to rally them all together, and to some extent it failed.
Of course.
Grand Admiral Thrawn is probably that's what he was intending to do,
But
and
I
this
think
is this is the main thing. It bastardized.
I
It's
just
got a
think
lot of
Gra-
problems. It's got some problems.
I just think Grand Admiral Thrawn could do it compared to Moff
Like
Gideon.
in this, yeah, and he also could have done it in Legends, which is what they're mainly taking this from,
Oh, okay.
and that kind of pisses me off. Like in the trailer, Ahsoka is known. It has said heir to the Empire in response to Grand Admiral Thrawn, and that's one of the books. That's a
Oh,
reference to
so
the books
so
and that arc.
now they're stealing stuff
Yeah.
from the books pretty much.
Well, they have been for a while because their crap sucks, and this is
Yeah, it's
essentially
not
them doing that without any. Like
yeah.
Thrawn was in the books before he came into here, and the only reason why he came into here was probably because he was so popular in the book,
Hmm.
and because they really didn't know what else to use, and they were losing fans at that point. Because believe in Rebels, it was Believe in Rebels, that was right around the time of season 3, and that would have been around the time of Last Jedi and all that stuff happened. So they needed something to draw back people, if I'm not mistaken. So Thrawn. So and it didn't quite work because the Thrawn was kind of dumb. He was dumber than his counterpart in the Legends continuity. And
Hmm.
yeah, so it's just whole bunch of problems there. This
Did a
show,
Jedi and his
these
group beat
Thrawn,
like in the books did a Jedi and like a group of people beat Grand Admiral Thrawn or what
yeah,
happened
Luke,
there?
Han, and Leia. Which is why
Oh,
another reason why people are pissed. If this is such a big threat, why aren't Luke, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, possibly Lando? Why aren't they here? Why aren't they even
that's
mentioned?
also true. Wow.
So it's one of those things. And if you're gonna
Maybe,
steal,
maybe,
and go ahead, go ahead.
maybe they show up at the end like they did in Star Wars. Oh, what was it? In a Mandalorian season 2? Was it
That
2?
was that was only
Well,
Luke,
just Luke.
and
It was just Luke, so.
I mean that was more so for shock factor than anything else.
Luke Sickness, oh my gosh, he's my favorite Jedi ever.
Well, people were really happy about that because Disney had essentially not only screwed over the character, but screwed over the franchise and the fans entirely. So at that point, people were just happy to see Luke be a freaking Jedi
Well,
that he was kind of written to
instead
be
of him being
previously. Instead of him being a
instead of him
pansy
being
and some
cranky,
cranky old man saying, "Get off my island,"
pretty much in Star Wars 7 and 8.
drinking out of a green titty milk. The whole thing about people, a lot of like diehard fans aren't like, I mean, when I mean diehard, I mean there's two different kinds. Diehard on the sense of Legends continuity.
Oh
Those
yeah.
people were already pissed off a long time ago, and now they're just even more pissed off, especially since you said heir to the empire in the trailer, and you're very much making that kind of distinction in this. Another group of fans is that another group of people that you're going to also upset is the normies, because in order to understand anything going on in this, you got to watch a lot of episodes in Clone Wars, which have to deal with Ahsoka, all of Mando, all of Boba Fett. You got to
Rebels
watch
as well.
Rebels all the way through in order to
How
understand
many
the
how many
plot.
seasons is that, by the way? Do you know?
That's 4 seasons of Rebels. There's 7 seasons of Clone Wars, but I think they have it down Disney Plus to 50 episodes of Ahsoka, centered episodes. And then you have 3 seasons of Mandalorian, and the 1 season of Boba Fett, which
At
you
least you
need
don't
to.
have to watch Bad Batch.
No, but I wouldn't be surprised if in the next season you have to.
I don't want to.
So
Although that would be it is crazy. There is no reason why it's there, to be honest.
for Bad Batch,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's something that me and you can talk about later on something else entirely, because we need to focus in on Ahsoka. Um, just because if we do that, we're going to be here all night, and I don't want to do that. There's that concept of you got all this stuff you got to go watch in order to understand it. So the normie is not going to get it, which is understandable, and it is the explanation for the
Yeah.
crawl. However, the crawl sucks. Like if you're gonna do a crawl, do the Star Wars crawl. Why do that crappy crawl that you did in the first episode?
What crawl?
You didn't see the crawl, like the words.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was stupid. I was
yeah.
like,
It's like
why aren't you doing?
why aren't you doing the Star Wars one?
Yeah, like
Like
that.
it's stuff like that where they get so close and they miss the mark. Like
Yeah, because
that they're trying to
if
do.
they did that, if they did the thing that you're talking about, the Star Wars stuff, that
Yeah,
would have made much
it
more sense
would have worked way
and
better.
would
It
have
would have
worked
been way more fun,
easily.
and it would have
Yeah,
been so much
it would have
better,
been like,
especially with the
oh
ship
wow,
coming in
Star
right there.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have worked way
Yeah,
better.
when all those words disappear,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, look, a ship coming in. That's
yeah.
nothing new, but it's something. It
No,
looked
but it's
really
at
cool,
least
though.
reminiscent of what came before it. Instead they
Yeah.
just do this stuff, and it's like you were so
Pink
close and you
letters on a
missed.
screen.
Yeah, you were so close and you missed the mark.
So bad.
Yeah, well, that's in a lot of this stuff. A lot of
It,
it's kind of boring just because of it's just a lot of it is just two characters talking to each other,
yeah.
and I didn't like that. It was very boring.
Two
One
characters
guy,
talking to each other.
well, yeah, because it's like Ahsoka, Yes. And it's like different shots every single time they change. Did you get the map? That I did. Good. Good. And it's like, but I'm doing it probably way faster than they were doing it in the show. It's very, very slow. And it's taking up a lot more time than it needs to.
Different
Um,
shot per person.
Pretty much. And the only
Probably is
and
true.
that it's very true, and a lot of it is essentially just two women whining about wanting to be with either wanting to be trained or not be training or whatever.
It's kind of funny because if it were two dudes, it would have been
It would have been
yeah,
solved in the
it would
first
have been
episode.
solved in like 2 seconds. That's
It
the
would have been
funny
solved in
part.
like 10 seconds. It would be like, do you want to train or not? I'm like, yeah, but are you gonna want to train me? It's like, well, I'm asking you, stupid. That's how guys would do it. Instead, it's like
Dumbbell
it's two women whining, and the male droid has to intercede and be like, stop being women and do it.
and just go. Pete's sake, you've
I like how
wasted two
Droid was like,
episodes.
stop being women, just get to it already.
It
We already
also
know what's
takes
gonna happen.
it also takes Hera, the mother figure of the two, pretty much
Yeah,
as well.
one guy said it this way. It's like two lesbian moms talking about their overpowered daughter, trying to convince her to do whatever it is they want her to do. It it's so true. Hera doesn't seem at all like her Rebels counterpart, if I'm not mistaken. I could be
She
wrong on that.
seems she seems
She,
like she's gotten like more of like a mother figure style to her.
her and Ahsoka seem way more monotone
Yeah.
and not as lively. Sabine Wren, I think, is fine.
Well, to be fair, they've also gotten a little bit older since we've last seen them.
Yeah, but I think it's more so with acting wise because this isn't that much further. Like last time we saw Hera, she was maybe it was maybe like five, five, 5 years ago, maybe. And even then,
Maybe.
we kind of saw her a little before then.
It depends on how fast you can build two Death Stars, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, the problem is like when we last saw her was her and her son and Captain Rex coming back to Lothal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like they also it's there's a whole bunch of like they retcon
Punch a
the
baloo.
ending. They retcon the ending of Rebels in order to get it into this, and you kind of see that in the with the same, very similar but very different ways of doing this, which now answers our question where they were supposed to be looking for Ezra before. Well, we thought, or at least I thought, they looked for Ezra beforehand. They are just now getting to it. 5 years after the war has kind of been over and the Death Star's kind of been done, they're just now getting to it.
The second one too.
Yeah, the second Death Star's been blown up. The New Republic has supposedly
Well,
gotten started.
yeah.
It really sucks,
No.
which really sucks for everything
'Cause
going
there's
on
still
because that's
because there's still a bunch of problems and there's still a bunch of
yeah,
people still in line with the Empire,
yeah. It's
as we
also
saw
very
in the second
yeah.
one.
That could have been done way better. Instead, they did it in this crappy way. Anyway, I don't. I thought the fight scenes aren't the greatest.
I
Like
thought they were okay.
the one with Sabine and the one with the Sith
Padawan?
apprentice. Yeah, the Sith Padawan,
The
whatever.
Padawan?
Yeah, the Sith
Yeah.
Padawan. Uh, Technically, Sabine. It's never said explicitly or not whether or not Sabine has Force abilities. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's the case, this Sith apprentice should have wiped the floor with Sabine just because she has Force abilities and she does not. It should have been very easily
And also an orange
wiped out.
lightsaber.
So apparently that's supposed to be red. Yeah,
They messed that up.
that's what they no, they've said that it's red for whatever reason. It just
So it's
looks
not
orange.
orange?
No, it's supposed to be red with
That's
the
why it
lighter
took
tint.
forever to come out.
Well, according to what I've heard, which it was just some guys that I heard talking about what Filoni said. Apparently, Filoni said something about, yeah, it's red, but
Did
it's
you
like
did you did
lightly
you make
tainted.
sure, did you
You
make
know,
sure that the lightsaber was red? Because we don't want to confuse him if the lightsaber is actually orange.
well, I don't think they care. That's the problem.
No, they
Anyway,
don't.
the only one that actually seems, the only character I seem to really like is Balin. I like his character. I really
Who?
the Sith guy, the only guy in the show. I like him.
Not the mayor, but the guy, the Sith guy, right?
Yeah.
The master,
The only guy in the show, really. You
the
know,
master.
the only main guy in the show.
Eh,
What do you mean? Ah, that's the only guy in the show, really.
Ezra's been in there.
We haven't really. The only main guy in the show. We haven't seen Ezra
Yeah.
but for two
No, I
seconds.
know
We
what you're
haven't seen
talking
that
about.
mayor
I'm
for two
messing with
seconds.
you. Yeah, I know what
I
you're talking about.
know.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah, nothing says girl power like having a show full of women.
But you have to have
And
the white guy.
yeah, but he's bad guy. So
Yeah. It is kind of funny though how deep his voice is.
I thought he did
I'm
good.
excited for that character though. I think he'll be very cool.
Well, the thing is, that guy who acted him out is dead and died before the showing of this stuff ever happened. So
So the guy who who's in that show is dead?
yeah, the guy who played Balin, the Sith guy,
Yeah.
yeah, he's dead.
What?
Yeah, and this didn't air before he's dead. So,
So he never got to see
so this is
himself.
the so this will probably be the one and only time, unless Disney wants to do one of their famous recastings where they
Well,
recast
they
every.
can yeah, they
They've
can
done it
recast
before
him,
with
yeah.
everybody except for Chadwick Boseman, but they've done it with
Yeah.
Terrence Howard. They've done it with the guy who played what's his face, General Ross.
Hulk,
Yeah. So I mean,
which honestly they shouldn't have done that.
well, they did it like not long after he had died. They were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Harrison Ford is now playing General Ross." Anyway, yeah, there's a whole bunch of problems I'm seeing with this so far. There could be less, there could be more. This is just starting out. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but this is also another freaking Jedi that escaped the stupid Order 66 that was supposed to wipe out all the Jedi. That apparently there just happens to be more for whatever reason. Vader really sucks at his job because that was his job, was hunting like for the first couple years of the Empire, was like hunting all the surviving Jedi that survived Order 66, and it's very much stated that he gets pretty much all of them, save for like few that went into hiding on either remote planets or masked themselves in the Force like Yoda did. Like, did it happen? Yes. Did it happen as often as it keeps on getting shown in Disney lore? No. And it kind of just gives to crappy writing. Because now it's just like, oh yeah, here's another guy that survived Order 66. Here's another one that survived Order 66. Oh yeah, here's another one. It's just kind of boring and
Another one,
lazy.
and another,
It's just kind of
and another
lazy.
one gone,
Give us
another
something.
one gone, another one
Just
bites
kind
the
of lazy
dust.
writing.
Do
Just kind of
do
lazy writing.
do.
So this is going to be a show where the more I think the more I will end up thinking about it, the more I'm going to hate it. I have a feeling like if I just watch it in and of itself,
I think it's gonna
it's a
be
bland show right now. It's a bland show. Does it have
for
room for improvement? Yeah, but if I just look at it on
Payson.
its base level, bland show. If I dig into it, it's like this is a bunch of crap.
Hey
Probably
Payson.
gonna what
Andor was the bland show. This is actually
the sad thing is apparently Andor was good.
Was it?
Apparently, that's what people have said. Andor was apparently good. It's just 3 episodes we watched apparently weren't good enough. It did pick up in the third episode, but it took so freaking long to get there. We were
No,
just
it
like, "What's
didn't.
the point?"
It just sat and farted, and that's it.
The third episode did pick up. I think we both said something on that.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was like, eh.
Yeah, it was just like, what's the point? It's
Did it
boring.
like soar after that? Pretty much.
Apparently, from what I've been told, it does. However, I don't care.
Oh yeah, you know
And
what's really
it's also the fact that this whole franchise has essentially been burned to the ground, and now you're essentially just trying to pick up the pieces or
Yeah.
just trying to see what you can
Cut.
still have of this.
Anyway, you know what's really funny?
What?
Perry the Platypus did everything Rogue One couldn't and lived through it too.
That Star Wars special is better than most of the Disney stuff that's come out from Star Wars. I
Bro,
kid you not.
bro, the fact that Perry the Platypus did what Rogue One died for is hilarious to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just saw because I watched Phineas and Ferb a lot throughout the summer, and I just saw that. I'm like, you're telling me that Perry the Platypus did what Rogue One died for?
Pretty much.
I just sat there and I was like, there's no way. Like, how did you're telling me that one singular platypus with special agent type moves is able to be a woman, a guy who has force wielding powers and is blind and a robot.
Now that's the first thing you've said right. I don't even know what I'm talking about!
I was just blown away by the fact that he was able to do that.
Yeah, I don't care.
What'd you rate it, by the way? I didn't get that.
Well, I haven't gotten
Can I
there yet. I'm
guess?
still talking
Can
about
I
the
guess?
thing. Yeah.
3.
I was gonna go a little higher, but yeah, that sounds about right.
4? You would have gone
Yeah,
4?
probably, yeah. Yeah, probably 4. Because there
Okay.
was stuff I liked. I did like Chopper. I do think the
Chopper is so
cinematography.
cool.
I did think Chopper was good. I did like the cinematography. I didn't think the music was bad. I just think there's a whole bunch of problems with this.
Yeah.
And this Jedi that apparently survived Order 66 that we've never even heard of apparently just comes out of the blue. It seems to know something about Anakin from the trailer. Seems to know something about Ahsoka from the second episode. It's just getting
Imagine,
tiresome and boring that this keeps on happening. And
imagine,
it's not like it's a character that couldn't have been implemented or led up to from Dave Filoni from any of this stuff because this has all been conjunction. This is Dave Filoni. He's been in it since Clone Wars. This is the guy that could have actually, if they had a plan for this, which makes me think that they don't, they could have better implemented this character throughout the whole thing. Instead, they're just now getting this guy, and he just showed up out of the blue, a Sith and his apprentice that has apparently been working for this Thrawn guy, and we're just now getting to it.
yeah. I think it's really funny. What was it? Dang it, I forgot. Never mind.
I also don't like the witches on Dathomir. I don't really care for them. It's putting magic in a sci-fi sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like putting the wizards of like the Wizarding World and putting it in Star Wars.
That's like having Transformers and all of a sudden just introducing
Dino like pets or something like that. Like, oh no, Land Before Time. There you go.
yeah,
Most random thing out of right field for you.
yeah, pretty much. That's like having like a Transformers movie and then all of a sudden revolving around baseball. Like it's that out of left field to the point where it's kind of
Who
why
the
is that here?
Transformers on first?
Also, on top of that, the witches of Dathomir were decimated to the point where there was only one known survivor, being in the Jedi Fallen Order video game.
I don't know the
And instead,
Transformer. He's on
instead,
third.
and instead of this, instead, this time we're given this other new character that apparently is supposed to be a witch from Dathomir that doesn't look anything like the witches from Dathomir. What the frick, like, and this is stuff that Dave Filoni
You
should
know,
know.
yeah.
This is stuff he should know. So he's
You
deliberately
know,
doing this, and it's
you know what would have been a great character to introduce into this?
what
Instead of it being that guy and his weird female apprentice, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one guy who's Darth Maul's apprentice?
Savage Opress?
Yeah, did he die?
Yeah,
I
he
don't
died in
remember.
Clone Wars, dude.
Oh, I was about to say that would have been a great one, but I forgot he
Yeah.
died. Dang it. Who,
Well, the
like,
guy,
what? I think
I
what would have
like
been,
Balin. I
I
like
think what would,
Balin. He's giving me more Count Dooku vibes, which
yeah,
is pretty sick. Like
yeah,
he's not, he's Sith, but he seems to have a reason for being Sith
yeah. We'll
and
find that
not
out.
just doing it outright. Because otherwise, he'd have the orange eyes and everything like Palpatine had and Anakin had when he turned to the dark side, and Maul had.
I hate you.
I hate you too. Anyway, this is just becoming somewhat. It's just bland and somewhat repetitive. And if you're a fan of Rebels and all the Disney stuff, you might like this.
Probably, yeah.
You'll probably think it's somewhat bland and takes forever and somewhat
Mm,
lagging, but you'll probably like this. I think Thomas will like this.
oh yeah, 100%, yeah. He'll be
I,
like, "Oh, this is such a great show, man. This is awesome, man. I thought
yeah,
this show was awesome, dude."
and I just happen to think if you're a Legends fan, you're going to be insulted. If you're a new person coming into this and you've only just watched some of the Mando shows and you haven't watched any of the animated shows at all, and you just watch the stuff that's come out of Disney Plus and stuff like that, you're going to be very confused. Thank you for watching this episode of Galactic Reviews. Join us next time when we will be doing some other shenanigans on Galactic Reviews. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.